Ever wondered whether Cristiano Ronaldo can still cut it at the top level of European football? Well, I've moved him and Al-Nassr from Saudi Arabia to La Liga in Spain to see how they get on. So here we go. La Liga is now the home of Al-Nassr Football Club, who've got Cristiano Ronaldo as their club captain and key player. Here he is, 37 years of age. You know who Cristiano Ronaldo is. He's currently in Saudi Arabia, but that club is no longer in the Saudi Pro League. They're in La Liga, and they've replaced the bottom club Elche, and they are currently predicted to finish 11th, which is not particularly great. But aside from Ronaldo, you've probably not heard of many of their players, so we'll simulate a few seasons and see if they can survive in La Liga. And after season number 1, they've finished... Well, I'm not sure, because we've gone past the end of the season, because I'm not very good at stopping simulations, but we'll have a look how they did in the first season. They finished... Okay, they finished 16th, which is not too far outside of where they were predicted. 39 points, 10 victories, not great. They've not beat any big teams, really. Atletico was their away win, actually, so that was their one scalp. They finished 10th, and that's... not 10th, 16th, sorry. That's not particularly great. We'll see how they do in the next season. They got to the third round of the Copa del Rey, lost to Mallorca. Not fantastic. Let's see how Ronaldo did back in Spain. His reputation's gone terribly. But we'll see. Okay, so he's got 13 goals in 37 league appearances. He only missed one league game throughout the whole season. 14 in 40 across all competitions. Not fantastic. 7.31 average rating. Now, usually Ronaldo retires at the end of a second season whenever I've done any sort of playing on Football Manager 2023. So we'll see if that remains the case. But we'll also see... so the manager got sacked in November, and Gerardo Martino has taken over in December, and he's currently won 33% of his games. So he's not doing fantastically well, but we'll see how they get on in the second season. Have they strengthened? I'm still on holiday, so I can't check. We'll simulate forward to the end of the second season and check all of the transfers and see what's gone on with Ronaldo and Al-Nassr in La Liga. Now, before we get to the second season, I want you to let us know down in the comments whether you have enjoyed seeing how Al-Nassr get on in La Liga when you finish the video, obviously. Whether you think they're going to survive, how they get into Europe or anything like that. And if you want us to do some more club swaps like this, let us know in the comments some of your ideas. Right, now let's get to the end of Season 2. And it's not a pretty sight. Rafa Benitez is the new manager, but Al-Nassr have been relegated from La Liga, and I've only loaded up La Liga in this simulation. And we can't see Ronaldo anywhere on the right-hand side of the screen, which suggests he's retiring at the end of the campaign. We'll get to that in a second. He's not the top goal scorer. He scored 2 in the Copa del Rey. They've got knocked out in the third round, but relegated from La Liga. Yeah, you can see there he's retiring at the end of the season. 6 league goals in 34. It's not like he hasn't played. He's just not done well. 8 in total across 37 appearances. He's gone downhill. That is for sure. He's no longer at the top of his game. He's retiring at the end of the season. He's not even got his number 7 shirt anymore. They've stripped him of that. They're still paying him billions and billions of pounds a day or something daft, like £1 million a week or something. Anyway, so they've Rafa Benitez has come in and not really turned around their fortunes. Gerardo Martino got sacked after just over a year. Benitez is in just after Christmas, and he's only won 5 games. Not fantastic. Transfer-wise, have they spent much money? They spent 33 million in the first season, the bulk of which, 27 million of it, for Robert Skov from Hoffenheim. They've got a couple of players from Hoffenheim there as well. Have they sold anyone of note? Not really. They've just got £1 million in from their transfer sales. Second season, they haven't really bought anyone either. If we look here, Asta Vranks has come from Wolfsburg and then gone to Rangers by the end of the season. So he's done his season and gone again because they've got relegated. So they bought him for 9 million, sold him for 14. A good piece of business, but they have been relegated. So there's going to be a relatively short video. But I think we're going to do something to make this video a bit longer. They've been relegated from La Liga. We haven't got the second tier of Spain loaded. We're going to mess around with their reputation, see if we can boost their reputation up, see if they can get more players in to support Ronaldo and survive a bit longer in La Liga. So we've gone all the way back to the start. Once again, you can see now they've got a very good reputation. I've bumped them up to the levels of sort of Atletico in La Liga. So we will see whether they can use that to their advantage and beat their predicted finish of 10th. Ronaldo's back there again with his number 7 shirt and his 3.5-star reputation. We'll see how we get on, and we'll simulate through. We're going to do 5 years this time because I've loaded the second tier of Spain just in case. Season 1 has finished, and they have finished 11th. And they've got Julian Nagelsmann as their manager as well. Ronaldo's still there as captain and key player. They finished 11th, got 44 points, 13 wins. This is better than any season they did in the first part of the simulation. So that's really good. Still quite a long way from European football, though. And I can't see them anywhere on the player stats screen. So that's suggesting they've not had fantastic campaigns. We'll have a look at the rest of their competition. So they knocked out the second round of the Copa del Rey, not great. Ronaldo got 11 goals in the league, and he's now been relegated to an impact sub for the second season. So 11 in 38, played every single game. 12 in 40 across all competitions. They only played twice in the Copa del Rey. Manager-wise, Jelicic got sacked. I've mispronounced his name, definitely. 36% wins, 7 wins out of the games there. And Nagelsmann's come in and got 33%, so he's not doing fantastically well. Transfers in, they've spent a bit more money. They've bought Yusuf Poulsen from Leipzig, and he hasn't gone yet as well, which is always good. For just over £14.5 million. Talisca's come in. He's already there, actually. He's already come in July, so that's fine. He's coming from China. We'll see now. We'll go through another season with Ronaldo there. He'll retire, and then we'll get to the 5-year part of the video, and we'll see whether they've survived La Liga and got into Europe at all. Season 2 at the King Saud University Stadium, and they finished 14th, so they've survived. They're only 1 point behind where they were last year, but they've dropped 4 places. Abel Ferreira is the new manager. He's come in after Nagelsmann lasted a year and a month, or 2 months, and got sacked with just a third of his games won. Ferreira's won 1 in 9, which isn't great. He's probably not going to last much longer than the end of the season. But they've survived another year in La Liga, knocked out the second round once again of the Copa del Rey, and Ronaldo has scored 11 goals in his 33 appearances in the league. 11 in 30. He's not done any other. He's not been in the cups, so that's all he's done. He's listed for transfer, but I think he's retiring at the end of the season as well. He's no longer listed anywhere in the club information. The second season, they've spent $5 million on Ruben Vezo and not sold anyone, so that's good. They've consolidated their position in La Liga. We're going to go now to the 5-year point and see how they get after Ronaldo has retired, and we'll see how they've done. Indeed, 5 years on, another Portuguese manager, but it's not the same one. It's Paulo Fonseca, and they're still in La Liga, which is good. If we go back to where we were. So this is the season we've just shown you, 14th. Then they finished 10th. Their first year without Ronaldo, they finished 10th, but then dropped down to 13th. And then the last season they finished 11th. So they're well and truly a mid-table side in Spain. But it's interesting that they had their best season after Ronaldo left, or retired rather, because, well, obviously they freed up a bit of cash. They got to the semi-finals of the Copa del Rey that season as well, and then since then, after losing to Barcelona in the semi-finals, they've not really got very far in the competition. Right, they've spent no money this season. That's why they did well. They spent 131 million. They spent 50 million on Nianzou from Sevilla. Then Serginho Dest from Inter came along as well. They've strengthened the side a lot after Ronaldo left, and Arthur Thiet has come in defence as well. So that's 3 big £40+ million signings. They've not really sold many big names either. The next season, another £43 million on a goalkeeper, Alex Moret. So that is another strengthening at the back from Lazio. And Ismail Assar came in on loan as well from Real Betis. But they've not sold anyone either. That's good. They've not sold players, and they bought in big players. They've not really made any. They've got Paul Pogba on a free at the end of his Juventus contract. So he's strengthened their side as well. Coming in July. He's not listed as the key player there. This is the best 11. So Ronaldo's 23 goals is not good enough to get him in the best 11. Yusuf Poulsen as the striker in this best 11 for Al-Nassr in their 5 years in the La Liga. So they've done well. They've survived. They've done mid-table. They've not got anywhere near Europe, however. But they've done okay, I think we need to say. So once they've freed up the money from getting rid of Ronaldo. They've done what Pochettino came in as manager for a year and then got sacked after Abel Ferreira lasted nearly 2 years, actually. Year and 3/4, we'll say. And then he got sacked. Pochettino came in and won bugger all and then got sacked. And then Fonseca has come in and done okay. Nearly 50% win percentage in his 205-day tenure so far. So Poch left them in a bit of a situation. But 2 weeks later, Fonseca's come in and done well. If we have a look at their current last known lineup, they've not got Pogba in the side, but they've got plenty of good names you may have heard of, and they've done okay. Let's say they've done okay. They've done better without Ronaldo, so Ronaldo isn't the one carrying them on this anymore. He left after 2 seasons. He's retired. We'll check that he definitely did retire at that point. He did, yep. 2024, he retired after 2 seasons, so he just dipped into the 3rd season before retiring because of the way the Spanish season links up with when he's retired. But there you go. He's now an unemployed manager. He's not yet found his first non-playing staff appointment. But after 2 seasons with Al-Nassr in the Liga, they did okay, and then they did slightly better after he left, but they're still a mid-table side. And if you enjoyed watching Al-Nassr in La Liga, you'll enjoy this video where we send Chelsea all around the world until they can win a league title. Check it out.